coffee, thank you very much.
You don't put cream in your coffee?
Black, I used to. Black coffee, like 98% of the time.
Do we have JC this morning? He's coming.
Right? Yeah.
He said he was partying last night.
Yeah.
He said he canceled all his meetings.
He did say he'd be here in 2 minutes. So
Bill called me on the way home, said they were going to some dumpy bar.
Great. Some of us were working. No, I don't know what they were doing yesterday. I have no idea.
And some of us, in the morning, Spencer, I've been working. I played an hour of tennis by 7:45 this morning, swam my laps.
Wow.
Yeah, ready to go. Feeling energized.
I too was up at 5 a.m., though not by choice, but them's the breaks. All right, let's start us off here. JC will join us in momentarily, and that's that.
Run it. I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah.
Nvidia morning. Oh, what Nvidia day. It's Nvidia morning, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the festivities last night. I know I did. We'll talk about Nvidia today on the morning show because that's what we do. And when the most important company in the world drops more bombs than, or was it a bomb? It was like a bomb is a strong word. It was like a I don't know what it was. It was a good report, but we'll let the market decide ultimately whether it was good or bad. So that's what we'll talk about today. Well, Jason Krutzky on talk meme stocks. No, not meme stocks, meme coins, and YOLO swag stuff on the spot trading platform. And we'll have Sean on as we do every Thursday. And yeah, I don't know. That's right, Harmander. Last night was the most important earnings report of our life until the middle of October when the banks report. Speaking of banks, we should probably talk about the banks today. We have been, but again, have you seen Citigroup? Have you guys seen Citigroup? It is at like a 17 or 18-year high. Crazy, man. Crazy. Anyway, all right, I got JC, I got Steve, I got Alfonso, and I got you. So let's dance.
What's up, gentlemen?
What's up? Hey, he's back. He's here.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, of course I'm here. Where do you think I went to Mars?
No, just New York City, so close.
Yeah.
City's great, man. City's great. I was just checking in on what's going on over there. Things are happening. We were being too loud at the New York Stock Exchange. We were asked to settle down.
Kicked out again?
It wasn't even me. Guess who was the loudest person on the New York Stock Exchange yesterday?
Phil.
A one, Jeff Weiss.
Yeah. Wait, he was there?
Jeff Weiss was out of control yesterday, dude. And his son was there, shaking his head. Dude,
Jeff
he had us crying yesterday. We were laughing so hard.
Now I'm wishing I had gone. I didn't.
Dude, he's on another level. On another level.
Damn.
Here, throw up slide 2. This is me with the fellas. You guys you might recognize.
I didn't want to go until you said Jeff Weiss was there, and now I'm wishing I had gone.
There it is. There's Don Corleone there on the left, the Pearl Dog, myself, a one Kenny Glick, and Jay Woods. Jay Woods in the house.
This photo is symmetrical.
That's great.
It's great, right?
It's pretty good.
It was fun. It's a good time. Had dinner with Danny last night and Patrick and Sean.
Cool.
For sure. Great town, that New York City. Great town. What are these people so angry about? Can you throw up slide 3 there, Strazza? I know you're not like Mr. Sentiment guy, but even you.
Dude.
4 weeks in a row, more bears than bulls. Stocks
No.
making all-time highs every day. Come on.
We can't do this today. We got Nvidia earnings. We have real stuff to talk about
This
today.
isn't real. The fact that S&P, Dow, NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange Composite, Euro Stock 600, I can keep going. China, Shanghai, 10-year highs. 4 weeks in a row, more bears than bulls.
It's strange. I don't understand it, and I also don't overthink it.
All right. So you don't think that this is further evidence that there's still legs in this bull market, and with all the short interest in small caps, which by the way, if you want to throw up small caps making new 5-month highs.
JC, if you were trying to convince someone that the bull market still had legs, would you start with that?
No.
Okay, that's my point.
Yeah, I would not start with that. I would start with the fact that all the major indexes are hitting new all-time highs.
Great.
That's where I would start.
Good.
And end for that matter.
Good.
How about this rotation? New 5-month highs for smalls versus large.
This is really interesting. Yeah, I think the small versus large cap trade has legs for now. All of the small cap groups are becoming like the true market leaders right now, whether
Regional
it's
banks, bios.
Dude, I was looking through like small cap materials today.
Yeah.
You should see some of the stocks in there. They look like speculative growth stocks.
Are they mostly chemicals or are they mostly other stuff?
No, industrial metals.
Yeah.
Some new names too that I've never seen before. So I think we're gonna start fishing in new ponds, right? If ratios like this find support and start moving in the opposite direction, or at least stop falling, we're gonna have new ponds to fish in, right? It's the value theme. So energy, I'm so interested in oil and gas right now. Some of these little tactical bases in energy, this is one of my biggest short-term positions. It's just like the E&Ps. So whether it's energy, materials, banks, we're talking about banks a ton, and then you even have the biotechs, right? We've been talking a lot about biotechs lately too. They're starting to work. That's all small cap stuff.
How about micro caps hitting new 3-year highs?
Micro caps look better than the Russell 2000.
Micro caps look better than small caps. Yes, That's exactly right. Correct. How do you feel about that?
That is correct.
How do you feel about that? New multi-year highs. Should we do a little state of the markets and get into it? I want to hear about Nvidia, where you folks thought. I was busy enjoying myself last night, so I don't know what the hell happened.
JC went into the city for an Nvidia watch party. They were all watching the earnings. The earnings came out. It said top line beat, bottom line beat, and everybody was like, "Yeah."
Yo, you want to know something funny? Actually, it was
Jensen
me.
Wong was there, signing titties. Everybody was loving it.
Dude, it was myself, Pearl Dog, Kenny, Don Corleone, Mike Santoli, and we were just sitting there watching, the TV.
Cool.
Yeah, Pearl Dog and Santoli go way back. They worked together at Yahoo Finance, remember?
Yep.
And Santoli's like, of all the journalists out there in the world,
awesome.
I would say that Santoli is the one that the technicians like the most.
I would open.
I've told them that in the past.
I would open Barron's every weekend and go right to his article.
Yeah. No, he's the man. He really is. Good dude. You want to? I got some stories for you, not about Santoli, but about some others. Remind me to tell you some stories.
Where did you go after
SMH?
Did you stay out late? What time did you get home?
We went to Delmonico's. I got home around midnight. Went to Delmonico's. Place is awesome, dude.
Midnight's not bad.
Delmonico's the real deal. You know that place has been around since like the early 1800s?
Sounds like it.
All right, go. Let's go.
Okay.
All right, we got the Dow doing a whole lot of nothing once again today. Actually, the Dow is up 0.1%. S&P's 0.0, Mr. Blutarski. NASDAQ 100, 0.0. 30-year bond futures, 0.0. Crude oil, nothing. Copper, nothing. Gold, nothing. Silver up 1.2%. And the VIX, man, VIX is flirting with breaking 14. Might see a 13 handle there on the VIX before the week is out. That is pretty low. Why don't you? I'm wondering if Sean, when he comes on, is going to say that it's a great time to buy cheap puts, or if he just thinks that's like throwing money away. Very curious to hear, because you can buy cheap puts here. Bitcoin ripping this morning, up 2,000 points. It's 113 and change there. You got the old E 4600 up 2%, outperforming once again. And then over in Solana up 3%. Solana up 5%. And the Solana Ethereum ratio absolutely ripping. Strazza nailed it. Total crypto market cap, Mr. Spencer Israel, 3.87 trillion.
Nvidia is going to take off right now. This is like the report after the report. News just came out a couple minutes ago about Blackwell sales back to China.
And who is Blackwell?
That's their chip. That's the good one. And that's what everybody kind of wanted to hear about last night, and why the stock reaction, I think, was so lousy. But here, just quick headlines right now.
Flat. Nvidia's at 181.40 right now.
Yeah, so it's
close at
reversed.
181.60.
It's reversing yesterday's little sell-off. Nvidia is in talks with the U.S. to sell Blackwell AI chip to China. This was just reported by Fox News at 8:31. Nvidia is willing to give us a cut of Blackwell China sales. Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang tells me he's in talks with the Trump administration about selling his better Blackwell AI chip to China. This is what we've been talking about. China needs the good chips, right? Nvidia was not allowed to sell them the good chips. That's a massive business for them. We talked about this back in April, where I came on and I said, guys, do that little napkin math. There's 40 to 50% upside here for Nvidia immediately, because they're going to be allowed to go back to China. Stocks like doubled since then. So that story is playing out, but it needs to, the market needs an update here, and it sounds like this is pretty good. So they're talking about selling the better Blackwell AI chips to China, and he is willing to give the U.S. government a cut of those sales, plus wants U.S. tech to be like the U.S. dollar, the global standard.
I think Jensen Huang summed it up yesterday aptly when he said that they just delivered a record quarter, and they guided a record quarter without China. China is not even in the picture, right? Yeah. So if they get even a sliver of China,
the stock is still really cheap for what they're doing. It's crazy.
What is the stat that I saw? Is it 7 or 8 quarters in a row of 50% data center growth, revenue growth?
Here's the thing.
It's insane.
It's sick. Talk about the top line miss. You can't miss when you're growing at 40 or 50% every quarter for 7 straight quarters, like Spencer just said, right? Wall Street missed. The estimates missed. And it's near impossible to get this right at this point. And guess what else? It's less about the growth trajectory at this point. 60%, 50%, 40%, it's all ridiculous. It's about the duration. How much time are they going to be in this position and be able to put these numbers out for? The soonest inkling that the market gets that growth is stalling or slowing, or that these good times are ending, that's when Nvidia's party is going to end. But if they come out and they're still growing the top line 40, 50% every quarter in, quarter out, you're not going to see much movement in the stock. It's just a waiting game. Nobody knows how long they can keep, putting these results up for.
Is it longer than you thought, if I would ask you a couple years ago?
I know. But you did get a lot of this talk early on in the early AI days about it. There would be a plateau after the initial adoption and AI outfitting. And then there'd be some really tough comps to deal with. We're not seeing that. They just keep pressing the gas.
I was told that Nvidia was going to bring down the whole market, and it was a house of cards. No, none of that.
Nobody's saying that.
No. That's true. That's correct. If they showed a slowdown, which they did not, right?
That'll happen one day.
Let's not forget the casual $60 billion buyback. $60 billion, that's 2/3 of the S&P 500 are below of the companies are below that threshold, right?
It's ridiculous.
$60 billion. It's just a casual buyback, no big deal for us. $60 billion. That's like a Chipotle, right?
Their data center,
they're just buying your Chipotle,
has become so large now. That's the whole company, and they have a really nice large business outside the data center, but it's now 41 billion of their 46.7 billion in revenue. I mean, that's just amazing.
For me, I think it's really the market, overcame a potential problem, right? With semiconductors right at those former highs. If you want to throw that up, slide 7 there, with semiconductors right at those last year's highs. you know, if semis were to break down here, that would be a big problem. I think for the market, for tech, that would be a big problem. The fact that we're now past the, granted, the market hasn't even opened up yet, but the fact that theoretically we're through this period here where Nvidia could really disappoint, I think is a great thing for semiconductors, because now they're the ability to hold above those levels, and that potential bearish divergence, which by the way I was asked about on the TV yesterday when they were interviewing me about that bearish divergence, and I'm like, huh, funny you see that too. Sounds like everybody can see it. It probably ain't that.
Yeah, we put the RSI on there to fool you.
Yeah, I mean, it is a potential divergence, but tell me that a potential bearish momentum divergence isn't just a characteristic of uptrends.
Hell yeah. See them all the time.
See them all the time. That's why they are potential.
Price usually catches up, right?
Throw up slide 2. This was really impressive, guys. Strazza nailed it. He said microcaps look better than small caps. I hadn't quite thought of it that way, but that is absolutely true. Small caps aren't making new multi-year highs, but the microcaps are. These are, sub 300 million. These are the little guys. These are the littlest guys.
All of these, I'm going to say it, junky indexes trading at new highs. And it's great to see. This speaks to a bullish risk appetite. Investors
is this an exotic index, like some of the like the NASDAQ composite you claim is an exotic index, or the New York Stock Exchange composite is an exotic? Is this one of those, or is this?
Yes,
is this,
very much.
So this one's an exotic index, the micro caps.
That's right. That's right. And it reminds me of something like the IPO index. Like, look at IPO. Like these all look great. All these charts look great. The ARCs look great. Even the IPOS, new highs.
They're very similar. Which one's IPOS? What does that do?
International IPO fund. Shout out Greenwich.
Shout out Greenwich?
Greenwich Capital. Yeah.
Why?
It's like the Renaissance Capital Greenwich Fund. That's these IPO indexes are.
Oh, shout out Greenwich.
Yeah.
Are they referring to Connecticut, or perhaps the Village area in New York City?
I'm just going to be an ass and assume. Yeah.
Probably a fair assumption.
Yeah.
Probably fair.
I think Renaissance is in Greenwich. Yeah.
So then what happened yesterday while I was gallivanting around the city, doing city things? Oh my God, Strazza.
Yesterday was a great day.
Dude, I had sushi. I had 11 minutes. I was 11 minutes early and I ran and got sushi. These guys thought I was crazy.
What do you mean? To the event?
Yeah.
So you had a dinner before the dinner?
Yeah. Had 11 minutes and I scarfed sushi ASAP. I'm like, they don't even have to cook it. I can get out of here pretty quickly. And I did. Nailed it. You would have been so proud.
That's
awesome. I was going to text you. I was like, Strazza would truly appreciate this move right now.
So you had 3 dinners by the time you got home, because I'm sure you ate later in the night too.
No, I had 2 dinners. 2 dinners. 2's enough. Last time I was in the city, I had 3 dinners, but that was a little aggressive. So the point is, what did I miss yesterday afternoon? Was it a nothing burger? Everybody waiting for Nvidia?
Nvidia's gotten really boring. Yeah. Not much to see here.
It's not a bad thing, right?
No, I think it's good. Yeah. Yesterday, banks look great. The value trade continues to look really, really good. Look, we're back in rally mode. Speculative growths look good. International's looking good. China's doing a little backing and filling at this big level once again, right? So waiting on that breakout.
Some of the sell side analysts are, saying that the market's going to fall. You got some great contrarian indicators that I follow saying that there's signs of a top everywhere. Like, what are these people? What do you think these people are looking at?
We love building lists over here and letting the bearish data points kind of add up. And we're not it's not one of those moments right now.
What's the most bearish data point? We're told that there's signs of a tops everywhere. Can you name one? What's the most bearish data point? Because for me, it's that semiconductors chart I showed before, but that ain't rolling over, so that's not bearish. That's just potentially. What do you think it is? It's that hard to think of one bearish data point. That hard. Look at this guy. Can't even name one.
I'm thinking
this guy looks at more fucking charts than anybody except me, probably. He can't think of one.
The dollar?
I was thinking that too. Well, we're reaching.
Dollar's just washed out here and could be due for a big bounce.
Dollar above 100, you can convince me that could be bearish. No evidence that has happened yet.
Right. So like the most bearish data point, there's no evidence backing up that even anything's going to happen there.
Like potential outlier situations.
Yeah, I would worry about dollar digging in here, banging higher. That could make
Yeah,
causing trouble
agreed.
for risk
And
assets.
but it hasn't done that.
But JC, like credit spreads, risk appetite
Yeah.
ratios, breadth, like wherever you look, it's all actually improving right now. So it is actually, in my opinion, super hard to make a bearish argument. You'd have to,
They're finding ways. You think they're just making shit up because they hate Donald Trump, or do you think that maybe they're just
well,
saying
yeah,
something we're not?
which is why I just can't wrap my head around these sentiment surveys. Like, what are people looking at that has them so worried? The more we look around each and every day, things are just improving out here. I think we're in
How's the
round
for people who watch like TV and shit like that? Like, are they as angry as they were before, or are they a little less angry these days? The TV people.
No, they're doing all right. They're starting, I don't like it when they cover like stuff we're on top of. They've been a lot of home builder stuff, big bank stuff lately. I hate it. I hate it when the TV is talking about the same stuff I'm trading, to be completely honest. So that's been standing out in the past couple
How
days.
about the percentage of stocks on the New York Stock Exchange that are above the 200-day moving average at the highest
So
levels of
good.
the year?
So good. Right. And that's what I'm talking about. You're seeing like clear breadth improvement in these indicators. It's tough to make a bearish list right now. So you
New York
stumped
Stock
me.
Exchange
You stumped
advanced
me this
decline
morning.
line. Really getting, really flirting with those new highs, potentially making new all-time highs tomorrow. We'll see when the market closes, but the advanced decline line on the New York Stock Exchange flirting with a new all-time high again. I'm not seeing that as bearish. 4 weeks in a row, individual investors. What are these folks so angry about? It's really fascinating, truly fascinating. All of the anger and the bitterness.
The chat's funny. There's like Trump is like a mob boss. This is what I was saying yesterday, JC. Like he runs the government like a
What did he do
private
now?
enterprise.
What did he do
Like,
now?
huh?
Is he
He
going to
wants
win the Nobel Peace Prize, Donald Trump?
he's letting Nvidia go back to China and he wants a cut. It's great.
And so you follow this stuff more than me. That's a good idea. You like that, or you think all this government intervention is a little too slippery slope?
I'm fine with that. This isn't like an unprecedented thing. No, I'm fine with that. It's a tax, dude.
It's a tax.
It's tax. It's fine.
But didn't they not want to sell these things to China because it's like
Oh,
security reasons?
and I'm extra fine with them selling to China. And I think it would be a huge mistake not to, right? And I think it was the right move to stop selling to China when we did. That was more like a head start thing, right? We had the best chips at the time. We said, you can't have them. We got a head start in the AI race because of that. Now, you don't want to make it so that they have to go and find or have the incentive to make chips better than Nvidia, right? We want to be the one supplying them chips. So I think we achieved what we wanted to with that policy, and now it's the right move to let Nvidia go back in. Because think about it, dude. China's not going to figure out a way to make their own or get them. They were coming in through Singapore anyway. There was a bunch of funny business going on there. So
Was there some funny business?
Singapore? Look out for Singapore, okay? Whose team are you on, Singapore? I wonder sometimes.
Wow, Strazza calling out Singapore. Do you have any Singapore slings when you guys were there?
No, I didn't try one.
You didn't try one?
That was the red drink?
Yeah.
Red drink. No.
At Raffles? That
No
old
red
school
drink.
place, Raffles?
I don't think we did.
They used to do it because back in the day, like it was the women couldn't drink. So they started making those drinks so it looked like the women were drinking like fruit punch, even though there was booze in it. That's where the Singapore sling started. So shout out to the ladies. Thank you for that.
I flew on a plane for 24 hours, got to this strange city on the other side of the world. Someone made me go.
Strange. It looks like Miami, bro.
Someone made me go on like a bungee roller coaster thing. I almost died. It was traumatic. And then I got on a plane basically the next day and left. That was
And you went to Kuala Lumpur, KL?
That was my experience with Singapore.
All right. I know we got Jason in the house. We're gonna talk some meme coins. Do you own any meme coins, Steve?
Yeah, like Bonk, right? The Bonk. I bought Peanut the Squirrel. I bought the Pepe the Frog. I bought a bunch of these like a month, 2 months ago, basically at short-term top. And I'm still holding them.
Yeah. All right. That doesn't sound like a good trade.
No, not so far.
Pepe the Frog. Jason has been all over Pepe the Frog for a minute. Curious to see. Pepe the Frog is like, if Doge is JP Morgan, Pepe the Frog is like a Regions Financial.
NASDAQ. Oh, wait, say it again.
If the Doge is JP Morgan,
Yeah. Okay.
then
Yeah.
Pepe the Frog is like a super regional, like a Regions Financial or like a Truist, one of those, you
That
know?
big. That's hey,
Yeah, it's
shout
like
out
a
Pepe
second
the
tier. It's not
Frog.
like a tiny little guy.
No,
It's like a
Regions
second
is
tier.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're top dog in the super regional
You think
space.
anybody's ever compared the Doge to JP Morgan and super regionals to no?
Hey, NASDAQ Poppy keeps asking about China and Alibaba. Do you own too much of it? What are you worried about? There's
Pepe the
nothing to
Frog.
say.
Pepe the Frog, 4.3 billion market cap, by the way. It's not nothing.
No, that's
That is
huge.
the
That's ridiculous.
number 31 on the rankings list.
So that would be like the 5th largest materials stock in the United States.
Basically. Yeah. Probably putting it nicely too. Shall we? Shall we?
Yeah.
I think we shall. Jay, we've been friends for a long time. Make the call.
I mean, this is pretty professional, guys.
Nice show you got going here.
What's up, Jason?
GM, how are we?
I am doing fantastic, sir. You know, it's a bull market. I don't know if you heard.
It is a bull market, man. Things are feeling really, really good right now.
Let me ask you this. You know, in the parts of the internet that you like to live and dwell in, you know, these are not trillion-dollar companies or trillion-dollar assets. Far from it.
Yeah, far from it.
Far from it. So when you see things like the microcap index, the Russell microcaps that are all below $300 million market capitalization, roughly, hitting new multi-year highs, small caps relative to large caps, new 5-month highs on a relative basis. Does that play a role in, you know, the risk appetite that you're seeing at the meme coin level, or are these separated things? It doesn't matter.
I think they're totally different worlds. I mean, I think they're suggestive of like the broader environment that we're in, but I don't know that that memes have any real relation to what's happening in microcaps.
Do you like my comparison with Doge being the JP Morgan and Pepe the Frog being more of like the super regional, more like you know, Regions Financial or a Truist, you know?
I'm going to be honest and say that I don't know banks well enough to make the,
Nice.
you know, whatever.
That's real right there, folks. I like
Pepe-
that. I don't fucking know about anything.
I don't
about
either.
regional
What I know for sure, Pepe is the apex meme of the internet. So
And
like,
what does that mean? Apex meme. It sounds very fancy.
yeah. It's the most widely distributed. It's the most well known. It's the most.
Why do you say Pepe is the most widely distributed?
Well, it's kind of been Pepe's just been a character on the internet for many, many years, right? When I was here 2 weeks ago, you posed the question, what gives a meme legs? And so I've been thinking about this for 2 weeks, trying to like distill down what actually really truly gives a meme legs. And I think that I've hit on like the 3 key elements. I brought a handful of slides to kind of share the story here.
Yeah, let's see it. Throw it up.
I think that
So last time, for the folks, just to catch everybody up, Jason focused a lot on the launch pads and, you know, the launch pad wars and like how memes are sort of getting started. You know, a big question for me is, okay, great. So you get that launch, you get that pump, then what? Because some of them have legs and they live on, and then some of them, like a Melania coin or whatever, just down 99.9% or whatever. What separates the two? What distinguishes the two from one versus the other, you know?
So I want to make the distinction here that I'm specifically talking about memes and not meme coins in this particular, in what I'm talking about right now. Like, yes, Pepe, the meme coin, has gone on to insane numbers. I think all-time high was like 12 billion. And there's a world where it could go, you know, bigger than Doge if it wants to. I don't know if it's going to. But specifically, before there was the coin, there was Pepe, right? And that meme, the meme of Pepe proliferated for many years before the coin existed. So the big 3 things, right? Mutational DNA, universal recognition, tribal amplification, and I'll kind of talk through all of these things.
Mutational DNA. That I want to know. What is that?
Yeah. So, all right. So we're talking about Pepe, right? So we'll go to slide 2, talk about Pepe. We're going to use Pepe as our kind of blueprint. This is Pepe. This is the first time the world saw Pepe, 2005. Pepe was a character developed by a fellow named Matt Fury. He had a little magazine called Boys Club. It was just a comic. And so this is the first time we see Pepe. Pepe is seen peeing with his pants down. His friend asks him, "Why do you pee with your pants down?" He says, "Feels good, man." Right? Feels good, man became, it was later the name of the Matt Fury movie that came out a couple of years ago. Feels good, man became just like a slogan, a really widely known slogan. But Pepe existed in 2005, and we didn't start seeing like iterations of Pepe, the mutational DNA piece, until quite later. MySpace came around in 2008, and Pepe started showing up on MySpace. 4chan came around, and 4chan was where you started seeing the mutational DNA piece. So if we go to the next slide, what mutational DNA is, it's just simply that there is a Pepe for every single thought, every single emotion, every single feeling. As Pepe and Matt like has proliferated, different artists and different people on the internet have created different versions of Pepe. This is a very, very small set of examples.
Yeah, but a lot.
It's a lot, but man, there are, tens of thousands of Pepes, right? There are different flavors of Pepe, right? On the far right of the slide, there are the Pipo Pepes, and there are just different types. There's one called Apustaja that has its own look and vibe and feel. It's still a Pepe, but it's not the like OG Pepe.
Jason, how come this never became like an NFT project, or did it and I missed it?
Oh, it did for sure.
Did.
Yeah,
And how did that do?
It did quite well. We'll get into the NFT piece here in just a minute.
Okay, go.
So this mutational DNA, right? All of these different versions of Pepe, they're just pictures of a frog on the internet doing all kinds of different things. And just like we use GIFs for today, they were used in the same way years ago. They were used as a way to express a feeling, right? So instead of saying, I want to kill myself because of this particular bad thing that's happening, you send a picture of Pepe hanging himself, or you're crying because you're so happy about something, you send a picture of Pepe crying, right? They were a way to express an emotion and an idea. And the next piece, what that mutational DNA allows for is universal recognition, right? It gives anybody anywhere the ability to resonate with this particular character. And where it didn't necessarily start with these famous people, but what these famous people do by proliferating the meme is they get their respective tribes. It opens up the people who are following people like Donald Trump or Katy Perry or Nicki Minaj or Wendy's or Elon Musk, right? Like all of these kind of people have their tribes. Maybe Wendy's doesn't have their tribe. Maybe they do. I don't know. But these are big accounts with lots of reach that are posting these various memes of this frog on the internet. And so
I want to remind everybody in the chat, Jason's a good friend of ours. This Pepe, he's trying to explain exactly what the hell's going on here. This was a $12 billion token, which would make it a large cap stock in TradFi, right now sitting at over $4 billion. So, there's going to be more of these. They're not going anywhere. And we're not talking about 20, 30% gains here. We're talking about thousands and thousands of percent. And there are going to be more of these, right? So for me, I'm interested in this to find what the hell happened here, because it's going to happen again. So Jason, I just want you to know I appreciate, what you're doing here, guys. Some folks are like, what is going on? But this is good. I want to remind everybody what we're doing here. So go ahead, Jason. This is great.
It's definitely a bit of a weird world. It's not the balance sheets and all that sort of stuff that we're used to in finance. This is like social cachet. This is the value in Pepe, the coin, is this, right? It's just the fact that these, that people continue to proliferate the meme. So again, you have the mutational DNA that allows lots of different types of people to resonate with it. lots of different types of people then start posting about it. All of those people have their own tribes. You know, I am a climber, I am a runner, I am a this, I am a that, whatever it is, whatever you might be into. You find your people, and you find the Pepe that kind of expresses the thing that suggests who you are in the world. And so what you get then is you get this tribal amplification. You have people on the far right.
This is humans 101.
Humans 101. I just want to relate to my people. I want to find my people and I want to relate to them.
We're social beings. Like, we like being part of a community for safety purposes, right? You know, if you get away from the pack, you know, the lion's going to get you, you know, like that sort of, you know.
Yep. So, you know, people on the far right, Pepe became, for a period there, Pepe became a hate symbol. They were using Pepe for all kinds of very dark, very nefarious, ugly things. Pepe became a symbol of MAGA, right? When Trump posted the Pepe of himself, it was like, okay, MAGA can now use Pepe for these different things. And so this guy holding this MAGA sign here, I don't know if this guy even knows what Pepe is or where the character came from. It's just a thing that he saw on the internet and he's just holding it. But like, he's proliferating the meme because he's sharing it, right? He's just some random Trumper that is sharing this meme, and this was happening in mass. So that's like the far right side. On the far left side, you had artists, guys like Dark Farms. Dark Farms released Bohm. Bohm became a 3 billion market cap
That's
coin.
the Book of Meme, right?
Book of Meme, yes, Book of Meme. Dark Farms
I traded that one.
Yeah, of course. Dark Farms is primarily a Pepe artist. He does his own version of Pepe, but he's released, you know, tens of thousands of pieces of art that feature Pepe. Bats do here is a friend of mine. Bats is also kind of primarily a Pepe artist. Bats was responsible for a lot of the art around Mogcoin. So you have these like far left artistic people who are actually deeply interested in memetic culture, kind of similar to me, who are contributing to the meme, right? They are adding to the abundance of the meme existing on the internet. They're giving new versions of it. As you can see, these are different versions of Pepe's that we hadn't seen in 2005 or 2008 or 2016, right? These guys made their own versions and are contributing to the conversation and contributing to the distribution and of the meme in general, right? So like, this is what makes a meme thrive. Ultimately, this whole conversation, like if you want to know what memes have the potential to go on and do something like what Pepe coin did, right? Now everything is being coined instantly. Pepe proliferated long before coining became a thing, right? But now that coining is a thing instantly, it's almost like you make the coin and then you make the meme. Or you make the coin and the meme at the same time and you try to proliferate them together.
And then when did the coin itself launch, Pepe specifically, to give people some perspective? Because this meme goes back to 05. We didn't have meme tokens back then.
2023. Yeah. So like, you know, obviously it was difficult to make tokens for a long time. And even when Pepe, the Pepe coin was released at the time, there were multiple coins that came out. And so there was kind of like a proving ground period where it was being decided, you know, which coin are the masses going to kind of like huddle around and accept and embrace as like the coin that represents this particular character. It took a little while, but it did finally happen, but it only happened in 2023. So anyway, all of this to say, like, when I think about meme coins that could work in the future, Pepe's the blueprint, right? And it's going to be very difficult for any other meme to really kind of have the same sort of effect as Pepe, because Pepe has so many years of being proliferated and becoming known before it was actually coined. But when I'm looking at new memes and when I'm trying to find something that could potentially one day become something like Pepe, this is the blueprint that I'm after. So I've brought
Pepe still your largest holding, or have you broadened out? Because at one point I remember talking to you not too long ago, and it was
Pepe is not my largest holding anymore. No. But it was definitely, I want to say it was this, it might be now the second like biggest multiple that I've ever managed to catch, because I bought Pepe pretty early in 2023, pretty shortly after it came out.
Were
But
you already a Pepe fan? Like, were you part of
for
the culture?
years,
Got it. And there were a
absolutely,
lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
others like you.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. I mean, it's a huge. Pepe's the character of the
So
internet,
talk to
man.
me about Takabu, because I
Yeah.
don't actually, you know, I guess I'm just dumb. I don't know who this particular character is.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know who Pepe the Frog was either, for the record. Although I had at least seen Pepe in the wild. I don't think I've ever seen this guy.
Yeah, so Takabu is the spirit of gambling. This is a new meme, kind of popped off maybe a couple of months ago. But what I'm seeing with Takabu and the culture around Takabu, the people that are interested in Takabu, it feels very similar to it has the elements, right? It has the mutational DNA. You can see they're all right. So like in the dead center there, that is the official, like that's the PFP of the Takabu account on
And then
Twitter.
is this some dude with a long nose? Like, what's the story here?
So the bigger the nose, the higher it goes.
I
The
like
spirit,
that. I
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
The
I
spirit,
can go with
the
that.
spirit of what's interesting. There's a lot of interesting things about this. So the community that's come and kind of like centered around Takabu is super culty. They have started developing their own little language. You could see the gablu woo woo whatever down there at the bottom. You know, like they speak in a very specific kind of way. They have proliferated their profile picture. So on the left there, you see like all of the different Takabus. Um, One of the key ways that they started proliferating this meme was if you were talking about it on the internet, they would create a PFP for you. Mine's there in the upper right. And the fact that they did that, it's very reminiscent of like Bored Apes and that sort of
Yeah.
stuff, right? Like this is a very simple way to get people excited about your brand. Give them something bespoke that they can utilize to represent themselves. I mean, this is my profile picture on Twitter. But so they've got the culty piece, you know, they've got their own little language. They've already started the mutational piece. Like we're seeing different versions of Takabu. There's the center piece one, but there's lots of different ones that are kind of starting to pop off. You've got pretty well-known kind of influencers in the space, people that are utilizing Pump Fund to do streaming.
Are
and
you
develop.
a meme influencer? Would that be a meme influencer? What's the nomenclature there?
I don't know. It's a KOL. We call them KOLs, key opinion leaders. But
Key
that's
opinion leaders, KOLs. Okay.
okay. You're a KOL for sure. You're a
I'm
KOL.
a KOL.
You're a TradFi KOL. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
Maybe I'm.
Shout out to the TradFi KOLs out there.
Yeah, I mean, like maybe I'm becoming a meme KOL. I don't know. I've had a very quiet voice on the internet for many years. Like
Key
kind of
opinion
known,
leaders.
kind of not.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah. So they just kind of are starting to like they're doing all of the right things, right? They're not really talking too much about the coin. I mean, they're always talking about the coin, but the coin is the character. And Takabu being the spirit of gambling, what they've managed to do with that like catchphrase or that framing is Takabu is responsible for all market movements, not just the movement of this coin, but of any coin, right? It's the spirit of gambling that's like in control of the market at any time and the price at any time. So if the price goes down, well, that's just Takabu's desire, right? And if the price goes up, also Takabu's desire. What this speaks to is something that's really, really important in meme culture right now. The idea of believing in something, right? I didn't bring a Takabu chart because in their opinion, there is no chart. Like they talk about it all the time. There is no chart. I love you. That is like a very staunch stance that they take. And we've become friends on the internet because I've been talking about Takabu since, very early days. And I'm a TA guy and I'm always talking about the chart. And so anytime I post a Takabu chart, I preface it with, there is no chart. But if there were, and there is, in parentheses, here's what's going on it, right? Like, they think it's fun.
You're meeting them where they are. You're like, yes, I get it. I'm in on the joke. Now, on to the more serious business.
That's right. That's right. But it's actually, I would argue, even as the guy drawing on the charts, I would argue that the more serious business is the fact that there is no chart. And like the belief system that revolves around the idea of there is no chart, the people that are really involved here, I think they actually deeply believe this. And that's the type of mentality and the type of belief that would cause a coin to go on and do like crazy multiples, where you have this like bed of holders who are kind of degenerate enough, kind of crazy enough, kind of committed enough that the price is secondary to the proliferation of the meme. That's all that, to me, that's all behavior that is necessary for a meme to like really break out of, out of the smaller market caps. I mean, Takabu 2 weeks ago, the coin was at about 70 million market cap, which isn't nothing, right? I mean, it's still quite small relative to TradFi, but 70 million for a meme coin that launched maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago, that's a big number. And that's all just through internet proliferation, right? That's all just through these guys created this character and have been just like building the lore. We call it the lore, like the story of this particular character. The fact that they've been able to take the idea of Takabu and place it on top of all coins instead of just the coin itself is really, really fascinating. That's a really interesting way to go about it. And they're getting a lot of attention for it.
Jason, can you talk about the differences between the meme coins and NFTs and that cycle versus this cycle? Are NFTs gone? Because I own some. I own more, and I have more assets in NFTs than I do meme coins. Actually, now that I think about it.
I mean, you're watching the price of punks, right? Like, price of punks is going up,
I know.
And I would say that there is.
So punks, for those who, some people are like, what is going on here? I just joined in late. What are these frogs and squirrels? Crypto punks are like the blue chip NFT project. Like that is like the big, this is $1 billion plus market capitalization. There's real assets there.
Yeah, there are. And I think, all of these assets are super finite, right? That's kind of the whole idea. There are 10,000 crypto punks. There are 666 X copy grifters. There are whatever, just the same way that there are cults around coins and cults around ideas and beliefs, there are cults around PFP NFT projects, right? Crypto punks, the people that like really firmly believe in CryptoPunks, that's a bit of a cult, right? There will never be more of them. So, fine art has always been kind of like a place to store money, and some of the most famous artists of our time.
I have a good question for you. I was asked yesterday, as a matter of fact. I was in the city with a bunch of traders and, just talking shit. And they were like, because we were explaining how I really only trade the floor price NFTs, right? I trade which are fungible essentially at the end of the day. Like technically they're non-fungible tokens, but they're treated as fungible assets because they're all the same. It doesn't matter. It's just the floor price. You're in. But there are like alien punks and there are like others that are worth millions of dollars. Rare. The question that I was posing, I didn't really have an answer. I tried to guess. I'll tell you what I said. He said, who is buying that? Like, who is buying an alien punk for $5 million or whatever crazy numbers they go for? Who's buying that? And for me, I was like, well, you've got like, rich artists perhaps that are heavy into traditional art. And this is like, people that want to flex when they walk into certain rooms. They're like, that's the guy that owns the alien punk, like stuff like that. You have, hedge fund managers, with ungodly amounts of money, right? Getting involved there. Like you had famous hedge fund buying the Constitution when there was like a whole, Dow to be able to buy the Constitution. He went in and just got it from them just to fuck with them, which is hilarious, right? Who are these people?
Could be anybody, man.
Was my guess pretty good?
I think your guess is decent. Like, there are very, very rich, very not well-known art collectors in this world
and nerds. There are lots of rich nerds.
Well, sure. I mean, think about
nerd out on all this stuff.
CryptoPunks have been a status symbol on the internet for quite some years now. If you watch that whole thing take shape, but you maybe couldn't afford it at the time, or you missed it, and maybe you've been through a few cycles and you got a bag this cycle, maybe you caught a handful of meme coins early. That's a huge status symbol. That's a huge way of being like, man, I've wanted one of those for so many years, and now I've got the money to do it, so I'm just gonna fucking buy it. I think there is a world where CryptoPunks are $1 million a piece and beyond. I mean, those are.
That's pretty consensus. I feel like a lot of people I talk to, they just assume punks are going to $1 million.
Yeah, and beyond. I mean,
do I sell it? Do I sell the punks when it hits $1 million?
Hell no, man. I think you hold that
$1 million. That's a lot of money.
I think you hold that shit for the rest of your life.
Wow.
I think it's going to do this. You're going to have cycles, but like fine art. And you can tell me that CryptoPunks isn't fine art, but I would push back. I would push back against it and say that it's absolutely fine art.
Absolutely.
Just like any other fine art, it goes through ebbs and flows. But every single cycle that crypto is pumped, that the punks have been around, the floor is increased on them. And I think
what's up with the Bored Apes? They just can't keep up, huh? What a fucking disaster that ended up being.
Yeah, I mean, it did. I think it was just a bit of a different time, or a different, like, there's a different perspective, a different feeling around Bored Apes than around punks. Punks just feel so much more pure than Bored Apes do. Bored Apes were like total hype cycle. It's almost like the difference between like Pepe and Frog. Frog, you and Nikki talked about Frog, I don't know, earlier this year or last year, whatever it was. Frog is just a frog on the internet, right? It's a iteration of Pepe. It's not the same deal. And that's kind of what I think is the story there. The punks are the first true NFT PFP project. It's not the first NFT project, but it's the first PFP project that really took hold. And there's a lot of value in that placed upon that.
Can you throw up slide 2 just to show the folks some of these NFT projects and the prices of some of these CryptoPunks right now? 221,000 on the floor price, and then Bored Apes, which Bored Apes would be the silver if CryptoPunks were the gold, down at 44,000. Both of these were at $500,000 at the last cycle peak. I don't know. Did Bored Apes surpass punks or no?
I'm not certain on that. I mean, Bored Apes definitely, their hype cycle was really insane. Like
the Bored Apes.
Bored Apes, yeah. They celebrities all over the world and in entertainment and sports and all that sort of stuff, they were buying Bored Apes. So Bored Apes star rose like.
One day, like, it was shady though. They were giving Bieber a Bored Ape, and they were giving, right?
I mean, that, like, what else would you do though? If you're a business and you're trying to like grow your business, why not? Yeah. It's just like with
the Beats, headphones, right?
Sydney Sweeney for American Eagle, like, what's the difference, dude? She's getting paid zillions of dollars for talking about her jeans. Like, what's the difference? There is no difference. This was Bored Apes at a time was a status symbol on the internet.
I remember a time where I wanted to buy one.
It was a flex, man. So I don't know. I would put like autoglyphs for sure are in the CryptoPunks basket.
You think so?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Autoglyphs for sure. That's like a really, really important project. The people that hold autoglyphs, those guys are never selling.
What about the Dick Butts?
I love Dick Butts. I think Dick Butts is a sleeper. I mean, I don't think Dick Butts will ever be
new all-time highs.
Punks.
And can you before you run, can you give the folks a little bit of history on the Dick Butts and That's not as old as Pepe, obviously.
I can't. I don't know enough about them. I wish I could. I can't.
No, that's fair.
Yeah,
I mean, listen,
sorry.
you can't know everything. You know a lot of shit I don't know about.
I try and go down every rabbit hole that I can, that like, gets me excited.
What about the
And
ETH rocks? What's the story there?
I don't get it. I don't get it. Is it money laundering? I don't know what that is. I don't understand.
I don't understand it either. I've always been curious about the ETH rocks. I can't figure it out.
It could just be maybe it's just so stupid that it can exist. I really don't
These
know.
things are selling for serious loot.
Yeah, they are. And I don't understand. Maybe I could look into that for you and
So
find
you
out.
understand the frog, you understand the long nose guy, but the rock, you can't figure out what the hell's going on there.
No, if you've got hundreds of thousands of dollars to spend on an NFT, I'm not buying the rock. I would buy the CryptoPunk if I had the disposable cash to do it, but like the rock, no chance. Because that, to me, at any point, the story around the rock could just completely die. Like the absurdity of the rock could completely die. The punks have prestige. I think.
The bummer that in my situation, I only have one punk left. I did the Tiffany's thing where they create the jewel. You buy the Tiffany's NFT if you're a punk holder.
I remember that.
Did that, and they sent me the Tiffany's. Like I have the jewelry. Like it's
cool.
I mean, they basically turned my CryptoPunk into like there's like diamonds and stones and stuff. Like
Yeah.
I mean, it is sick.
Did you
Like,
sell that
really
punk?
nice. Huh?
Do you still own that punk?
Right, but I own the Tiffany's one also. So I don't want to sell the punk because I got the Tiffany's thing. So I'm kind of locked in.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that if ever you decided
I don't
you
want
wanted
the
to
Tiffany's
sell,
thing, and then I don't even own the punk that it
no, that's a package deal, man.
It's a package deal, right?
Mhm. I would say so. It's a package deal. I mean, honestly, though, I truly think that the NFT will continue increasing in value, whereas I feel like the Tiffany's thing will just flatline.
I mean, it flatlined right away.
It doesn't.
That was a waste of money.
It doesn't have the same aura. It doesn't have the same vibe. It doesn't have the same cultural.
There's very few. I think there was only like 100 or something.
Yeah, no, still valuable, still important. Still, I think, like I said, I think to the right collector, if you decided to sell it, the right collector would want all of it. There's a lot of artists in the NFT space that make digital. Of course, all of it's digital.
Is there any racism you think in the meme world between like a white character and an African American character? Like, is there any like racism there? I'm fascinated in human behavior. That's why I ask.
Racism is a difficult word to use here. I don't know if I would go with that. I would say that everything in PFPs, it's all about something that represents you, right? Like I want a character that represents me, and I'm a white male. I'm not an African American guy. I don't know if African American culture has gotten super into NFTs. I know that some folks have absolutely embraced them. You got
Snoop.
guys like Arthur Hayes, there's definitely like there's people of all shapes and sizes and cultures that are interested.
I mean,
in crypto
there's the Asian community in this whole space is on another level.
On another level, absolutely, yeah. They are very much the invisible hand moving a lot of things around, a lot of coins. Bonk has a huge Asian community. I would way more so than U.S. community. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't go so far as to say racism. I would just say, if you have the means and you want a character that represents you, you might get a character that kind of looks like you look, or maybe looks like you want to look, or something like that, right? And different people resonate with different characters. So
no, this is great. Jason, we'll have you back and we'll continue this conversation. I love the idea flow. A lot of people are wondering, where can they trade these memes? How do I do this? What I like to say is that this is the first cycle ever, and I've been trading crypto since 2013. This is the first cycle ever where it's actually easier to participate and take advantage of the opportunities. Every other cycle in history, it's been more difficult with each cycle to participate. This is the first one ever where it's actually easier, right? So where can we do that?
Spot trading, man. The thing about spot is that it's pretty effortless to use. One of the hardest things about trading memes and just crypto.
Throw it up, guys.
crypto in general is the fact that there are different chains, and so those different chains don't generally communicate with one another. Spot makes this all very simple. We have all of the ETH coins, all of the Solana coins, all of the base coins. We've got Hype, we've got BTC. You can pretty much trade anything that's popping off at any given time on Spot. You can swap these things effortlessly. If you got a Sol coin, you want to buy an ETH coin, you just press the swap button, and Spot will just kind of effortlessly do all of that swapping. You know how difficult that swapping can be, especially from chain to chain. It's
impossible. It's seriously impossible.
It's a pain in the ass.
It's unbelievable.
It's a pain in the ass.
7-8 steps just to trade one goddamn coin.
Right. And by the time you've done that, the coin is up 20%. You missed the move, right?
You need to unwind your position. You know what I mean? Like, it's a nightmare. So, and then so what? If you use this code, Spot is matching up to $100.
Yep. Deposit up to $100. We'll give you $100 in Pengu. Pengu is the Pudgy Penguins coin. I mean, it's one of the most kind of important coins out there right now. This is a multi-billion-dollar market cap asset. Pudgy's doing big things across all kinds of different retailers. And I mean, Luca, the guy who's running that company, is really pushing the boundaries of what NFT project can actually turn into, because, you know, it's on your list. Pudgy's was like third on that chart that you showed. Yeah. And it's become, you know, it's a coin, it's plushies. It's they just sponsored a NASCAR car. So like, you're going to see Pudgy Penguins at the Daytona 500. And but yeah, so download the app. You can use this this QR code here, and it'll automatically set you up with the code, with the All-Star Charts code. If you go to go.spottrading.com/All-Star Charts, type in the code All-Star Charts, or rather, no, the code's already there for that. But yeah, up to $100.
Yogi Berra, to quote Yogi Berra, is $100 in cash, which is almost as good as money.
Yeah, for sure.
Love it, Jason. Thank you so much for doing this. This is great. This is good education, guys.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for having me. I'm sorry if I like totally just threw your audience for a loop.
No, this is good. We like to mix it up, man. It's all good.
Right on. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next time.
You're the man, Jay.
All right, this is the official. This is the Colorado day on the morning show. Jason is in Colorado. Sean, obviously, in Colorado, and Sean is here as well. So we're bringing it back, everyone. We're bringing it back to whatever show, TradFi, whatever Sean's trading. I don't even know what Sean is doing, but that's why we have him here. I don't have to know. I can just ask him. So bring him out. Bring him out. Bring him out.
Johnny baby.
What's up, boys? Yes, I am from Colorado, but I am coming to you from a hotel room in Lower Manhattan at the moment.
From FiDi?
I'm in FiDi. I'm a stone's throw away from the exchange.
You tell the folks you were drinking fancy Bordeaux yesterday?
I was drinking allegedly some fancy Bordeaux. I mean, I assume it was fancy because we had to consult a sommelier to drink it. So yeah, I assume it was nice.
That guy was the man.
Sean, this is two trips to New York in one summer for you.
I know it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Yeah. I got some stuff to do in a little bit, and then I'm gonna get a little walk in Central Park, I think, with Michael Martin. So it's gonna be a beautiful day. Can't wait. Hey, shout out my friend Jason. You know, Jason, you guys just had on, good friend of mine. We hang out in Colorado. I love that guy. But he told me something in that interview today that I did not know, and I'm pretty bullish on me. And that was, he said, the longer the nose, the higher it goes.
I like that.
Look at that. Look at that. That's me. This is good news for me.
That's right.
Good. That was the best quote ever. The bigger the nose, the higher it goes. I like that.
There's hope for me, boys. There's hope.
Nice. Strazza's is chiming in. He's got a long nose too.
Yes, Strazza. All right. So let's do a little palate cleanser. Let's get back to real finance here.
How is this not real finance, sir?
I mean, you know, it's things that people trade. Let's talk about things that people trade. All right. I brought along a couple charts here. This I published a trade idea yesterday for All-Star Options members, and we'll talk about it here. It's totally cool. I got thinking yesterday as we were heading into Nvidia earnings. I was not expecting Nvidia to do a rug pull or do anything to shock the market, and it looks like I was right. Score one for me, big deal. But it got me thinking yesterday as we were waiting for that. It's like, man, we got implied volatility incredibly low right now. We got the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ at all-time highs, right? There's a lot of complacence right now, I feel like. People are just a little bit comfortable. I mean, yeah, we see the surveys and we see the bears are making a lot of noise. They think that the rollover is coming soon. Fine. But price action is telling us that things are pretty complacent right now. All right. So I'm looking at the SPY. That's what I pay attention to, right? I pay attention to the SPY, pay attention to the NASDAQ. And then yesterday morning, our boy Sam in the in our inter chat in our Slack for our team here, he shared a chart. Let's bring this up. This chart of TLT, and he said, "Hey, I think there's a big move coming in TLT." And I looked at that chart and I said, "Yeah, Sam, yeah." And look, TLT and SPY don't necessarily trade in lockstep, but if a big move happens in bond market, sometimes, often, it can spill into equities. So looking at what TLT is doing, looking at SPY and the stocks, and then bring up the next chart, looking at the implied volatility that's the implied volatility of SPY options right now. That's telling us that things are sleepy. And I say this all the time, JC, you hear me say this, that, volatility mean reverts. But it more likely mean reverts from high levels down to lower levels.
Yeah.
Just because we're at a low level doesn't mean
it can stay down there for a while. I was just looking at the VIX, about to break 14 and get into the 13s.
So low volatility does not mean that a spike is imminent. However, if you do get a spike from low volatility and you happen to be long volatility, that's when you get really paid. Okay. So with all this going on in my head, I'm thinking, this is a rare opportunity with implied volatility being so low. And I really don't have a strong feeling. I'm leaning bullish, right? I think the market's going to go higher. And I think if it goes higher, it could go way higher. But maybe the bears are right. Maybe we're in for some turbulence. That could happen. And when volatility is low like it is, and with TLT doing what it's doing, like these are the kind of places where volatility could spike. So I put on a trade, JC. We don't do a whole lot of these because the market doesn't give us the opportunity to do these very often. But I bought a long strangle in SPY options yesterday. I bought them at October options. If you want to bring up the next chart there, Franz, this is like the P&L graph of the trade. I bought the 620 puts and I bought the 680 calls. And so what I'm betting on is that between now and October, that the broader market, in this case, the S&P 500, is going to have a big move wider than what market participants are expecting right now. Like if you look at an at-the-money straddle in October, which would be right about the 645, 650 strike, it's pricing in a move that kind of corresponds with that light gray shaded area there in the middle of the chart. So the market right now is pricing in that the stock market is going to stay within a range of, like, say, 610 on the low end and 688 on the high end. And that may be true. The options market is very good at pricing in probabilities, right? There's no dummies there. But they don't always get it right. And if they're wrong, and if we get a move outside of either of those levels in either direction, we can get paid very well, risking only 645 to put this trade on. So I put this trade on yesterday. I'm betting on a big move coming in either direction. I'm open to either direction. I'm leaning long. I think we go higher, but I'm open to being wrong. And if we get it wrong, or if the market's got it wrong and we have a big move, we could, 3, 4, 5x our money on this trade. But I'm keeping my risk management tight. I'm not so much paying attention to what the SPY price action is doing. I'm actually going to pay attention to this spread that I put on. I paid 645 for it. I think you could still get it for around that price right now. If it loses half of its value, I'm not going to fight it. I'm not going to wrestle with it.
What I don't love, you don't have that. What do you got? 7 weeks?
Yep, 7 weeks. But my thinking is this, JC: September and October tend to be very volatile months, right? I mean, we know this.
August too.
Yeah, we have the data. So I didn't need to go out to December or January for this to play out, because I think if the volatility comes, it's likely to come before October expiration. I could be wrong. Maybe I was too short on this, but just, my spidey senses say that September and October, that's when turbulence often happens. So that's what I'm here for.
Are you thinking about this like an insurance policy?
A little bit. I mean, look, if the market goes up, if we scream higher, I've got plenty of equity exposure. I'm going to win from that, right? This trade will pay, and that's nice. But really, this trade will pay better if we have a sell-off, because one thing that's not reflected in this chart that we're seeing here is if the market sells off, I'm going to get the direction right? Because my position is going to take on more negative delta, so it's going to get bigger as the market goes down. But also, what do we know about down markets? When the markets are going down, volatility tends to rise, all right? So if volatility rises, then the premium in these options, and the put options particularly, are going to rise. So I'm going to win in two ways. I'm going to win from getting the direction right. I'm going to win from getting volatility right. And that's where I'll probably have the biggest win, is on the downside. And by the way, I should point out that, look, this is a low probability bet. I mean, I have a 34% chance of winning on this trade, right? Approximately. So what I'm going to do is, if this thing starts moving in my direction, in one direction or the other, and I start seeing some gains in this thing, I'm going to sell half of my position at a double. We talk about selling positions at a double when we're just buying calls, right? We talk about that all the time, but I'm going to do that with this spread. If this spread, I paid about $6.50 for it. If it gets to $13, I'm going to sell half of it and then ride the rest. And maybe I'll do a trailing stop on the position at that point. But I just think this is a good trade that gives us an opportunity to potentially benefit from a big move, also potentially benefit from volatility rising, which, again, just because volatility is low doesn't mean it's bound to rise any day now.
Yeah, I mean,
but
the VIX is breaking 14. It could get into the single digits.
It certainly can. It certainly can.
Especially
but you know what?
Especially where it's come from. Because we're not in a reversion to the mean business. We're in a reversion beyond the mean. You just saw the biggest collapse in the volatility index ever in stock market history. You think that unwind is over, considering how fast that has come? My suspicion is it's not,
But hey, the good news, JC, is if we do see it in a world where VIX is in single digits from here, well, that's likely happening because we're seeing a huge rally in the market. We're going to see SPY above 700 if that's the case. So in that case, this position wins. It's going to win because I'm going to be positive delta, and I'm going to win that way. So 3 ways to win in this trade. We get it right because the market screams higher, or the market screams lower, and or volatility rises. 3 ways to win. I like that. I like my odds.
So much winning, Sean. Just too much winning for me.
So much winning. Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of winning, great dinner last night, JC. Thanks. That was a lot of fun hanging with the boys.
We had 2 ribeyes. We had the Wagyu ribeye, and then we got the ribeye, the center cut, the ribeye fillet, if you will. What did they call it? The ribeye eye? The eye?
It was the ribeye. It was the Delmonico eye, which was my favorite of the 2 steaks. I thought the Delmonico eye was delicious.
Yeah, that's what I give my wife. She eats that, the ribeye.
It had a nice little crust. It was like a kind of crunchy, burnt on the outside. And just
that was
nice
good,
crunch.
Huh?
Oh,
yeah, but I wonder about the sides though. What kind of sides are we having?
Hashies.
We had some hashies. We had some asparagus. Dude,
they gave us free mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
See, that's the kind of shit that happens when you're a sommelier. You get free shit. That happens to me all the time.
We got a lot of bread too. Don't tell Phil, but we got a lot of bread too.
I didn't have any of the bread.
I enjoyed the bread.
All right. It is 9:45. Hey, before we go, big day for us here on the channel on Stock Market TV. It is Thursday, so Gold Rush Live with Jason and Sam at 2 o'clock. But before that, at 1 o'clock Eastern time today on the channel, our own Dr. Phil talking with the Lord of the Memes. I'm not quite sure, or the Lord of the Meme stocks. I don't know what he is right now, but Eric Jackson, if you've not been following what's been going on with Open Door, he's known as the Carvana guy, quote unquote, the guy that nailed that trade, and he's been pounding the table vociferously. It's a big word, vociferously. Ooh. On Open Door these past few weeks. He got the CEO to step down. That's how hard he's pounding on this table. They're going to talk today at 1 o'clock right here on the channel. Phil Perlman, Eric Jackson, right here, Stock Market TV, 1 o'clock. This video on YouTube will actually redirect to that video. And then it'll
standing outside of Drake's house, trying to get Drake to buy the stock.
Yeah. Crazy. So open door.
You should go to Kendrick Lamar's house, and if Kendrick Lamar buys it, then that becomes the thing. That's what he should do.
Open door, aka a 50-cent stock 2 months ago, almost 2 months ago. It was almost $6 the other week. So been on a huge run. So that'll be at 1 o'clock right here on the channel. Phil Perlman, Eric Jackson. That's gonna be a lot of fun. He's hot. I mean,
He's
so
hot.
hot right now.
Yeah,
So hot right
it's
now.
very hot right now.
Hey, and I usually do my options jam session on Thursdays, but due to my travel, we're gonna move it to tomorrow. So for those of you who partake, tomorrow around, what are we doing at noon tomorrow, Spencer?
It's on my calendar for 1 o'clock.
Okay, 1 o'clock tomorrow Eastern. I'll be back at home, back in the office, and we'll knock it out. It'll be great.
Have fun in New York City, there, Shawnee.
I will. Thank you, my man.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Oysters at the boathouse.
Oysters at the boathouse.
Yeah.
I'm heading to Chicago. So Sean's third favorite place. I can't keep track of all your favorite places,
I love
Sean.
Chicago.
You have too many favorite places for me.
Well, you still
Sean,
live there.
Sean loves what do you love? Gainesville, and you love Buffalo, and you love
Nobody
Boulder.
loves Gainesville.
No, I don't love Gainesville. I love
Nobody loves
Gators. I don't
Gainesville.
love Gainesville.
Even people who go to school there hate it.
Whatever.
That's how
Anyway,
bad it is.
I'm heading to Chicago. I'll be out for the rest of this weekend and next week. So don't get us canceled. All right, everyone. Try to be on your best behavior. If things start burning down, don't call me. I don't know.
Nice.
All right. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Sean and Jason. And these guys, JC and Steve, will be back tomorrow with Crypto Friday with Louis Sykes. Oh, and special guest Stephen Weitzel. Special last minute guest Stephen Weitzel. That was a JC request.
Stephen Weitzel thinks we give a shit about the Georgia Tech game Friday night. I think they play like all-girls school or something like that.
Would you stop? Have some fun. Tomorrow's show is going to be a special college football countdown.
Actually, speaking of Colorado, Georgia Tech plays against Colorado. Actually,
do they? Is it in Boulder?
Yeah.
I'm thrilled.
Tomorrow night. Friday night.
Oh, it's tomorrow night?
Yeah. John's like, maybe I'll go.
I'm very happy about the return of some real sports out here.
Man, because baseball's not real enough for you?
You hate on baseball so
Why
much.
are you hating on baseball, bro? Come on.
It's like it's just
Dude,
kind of always.
What kind of Florida man are you?
Steve, there's a thing called the U.S. Open. It's happening right now. You should check it out.
It is.
Play tennis.
Dude, speaking of baseball, last weekend, I didn't get to go, unfortunately, because I had other things to do. But my son went to see the Savannah Bananas in Denver.
Nice.
I'm going in 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks or something.
Where, Spencer?
In the Bronx.
Oh, they're playing in Yankee Stadium?
That's right.
That's
I'm
so
going
cool.
the night before we go to
cool.
Toronto. Yeah,
I'll go to that.
Wow.
That's a baseball game I would enjoy going to.
You would.
it's gonna.
I see Jason Krutzky back in the chat saying, should we go to the Georgia Tech Buffaloes game on Friday night? I think we should, Jason. Let's talk about that.
All right. That's what we got. We'll be back tomorrow. Be good, everyone. Go make some money. YOLO.
See you next week, Spencer.
Adios.
Later.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs.